On Airtel Touching Lives tonight, it is estimated that 250,000 street children live in Lagos. But there is hope for a lucky few, as you will see on the program tonight. Touching lives. There are over 250,000 street children in Lagos. The Street Childcare and Welfare Initiative is a sanctuary for street children and runaways. Rotimi Aziz was one such child. 3 years ago, his life was the streets.
It's hard to sleep on the floor because sometimes rain fall and beat us on the floor while we are sleeping outside in front of the shop. So we experience a whole lot of bad things on the street.
I wanna touch your life. I wanna be the change. I'm gonna shine my light. I'm gonna make a difference. Touch your life. Be the change. Shine my light. And make a difference. You're the one to make the world a much better place. You're the one, touching. You're the one, touching lives.
Hello and welcome to Airtel Touching Lives. My name is Wana, and just like Airtel, you know that I'm all about making a difference and transforming lives. Imagine if you had to live under a bridge, or to get your first meal, you had to beg for scraps. This is the average life of most street children in Nigeria every day. For Rotimi, this life was his reality. What he knows now is completely different from what it was.
Touching lives.
There are over 250,000 street children in Lagos.
I was on the street for like 6 months. I used to sleep around any shop that I found myself.
The street of Lagos is a very dangerous street for a child.
You see them helping you to clean your windscreen if you are going on the city of Lagos. You see majority of them, walking around the street, hopeless and helpless.
The first time I met Aziz Rotimi at Mushi in a ghetto area, he looked so rough. He looked very vulnerable. He looks very dirty. When I saw him, I called him as a mother. I told him, Rotimi, what brought you to the streets? He now told to me his own story.
I came to Lagos at the age of 14. After the death of my late father, I left my mother in Osun State because she has remarried to another man and he has his own children and cannot continue to cater for me. My stepbrother took me to Lagos with the aim of taking me to school. I was staying with him for like going to 6 months. He didn't take me to school, and so I decided to leave and go to the street with the aim of gathering some money so that I would go to school, be it public school or any private school that I find myself. It's hard to sleep on the floor because something you are not used to before and you just went to the street. Sometimes you just find some carton, put it on the floor, then you sleep on it like that. Maybe rain will fall or rain will not fall. You don't know because you cannot predict. Sometimes rain fall and beat us on the floor while we are sleeping outside in front of the shop. So we experience a whole lot of bad things on the street.
Lagos is a very big city and there are a lot of street children on the street. There are many. It's a very serious phenomenon, problem in Lagos State.
At first, I was scared, thinking, how will I be able to cope without my mom? How will I do most of the things that I used to do with the help of my mom? But after that, I have a positive mind of going to the streets and to gather some money so that I'll be able to go to school back.
Aziz Rotimi came to this center like 2 years ago. He was bought by one of our staff called Mrs. Shitu. They identify him among other street children at Child Lifeline, one of our sisters NGO at Ifako.
Street Child Care and Welfare Initiative is an NGO that caters for street children. So what we do is we rescue them from the streets, we nurture them, and then we reintegrate them back into the society.
About 3 years ago, I met Rotimi at Idioro Mushi. Then we talked to him as part of outreach that we do for the boys to rescue them. Then we talk to them. We show them care, we show them love, we show them trust right from the street. So by the time they now kind of feel happy that, okay, all this information we are giving to them, they're happy about it, then a child will now say, okay, I will follow you and come to your organization.
The people that represent the organization came to the place and found me there. They talked to me, do you want to be somebody in life? Do you want to go to school? Then I say yes, because there is freedom of choice there. They don't force you to do what you don't want to do. They will ask you, do you want to go to school, or you want to learn work, or you want us to leave it? Then it's your choice to choose.
When Aziz Rotimi arrived here, that's in December 2013, he looked very wide, he looked very shattered, he looked very malnourished. So we started working on him. Started building his self-esteem and trying to work on his emotions, referring to clinical psychologists to counsel him, to talk to him. And as an educator too, I monitor him, I mentor him, I try to give him another perspective, working on his attitude, and helping him to see reason why he need to change from those bad attitudes.
This place is actually more like a rehabilitation center. So the kids are brought in from the streets with all their vices. And what we do, we try to separate them from those vices that we found them on. So we work with psychologists, we work with therapists, and we work with counselors so that they will try to leave those things, vices of stealing, of fighting, of getting involved in crime, of taking drugs, and so many other things.
Since Aziz Rotimi arrived here, he has been growing tremendously, I mean greatly, because in his academic, he always come home with excellent results. And also his attitude has changed. Right now, we've been able to identify some of his strengths and weaknesses. Right now, he have more of strength, like he have good leadership skill, he have good communication skill. By the time you are interviewing, you see he can speak very well. He has boldness, his self-esteem has really improved. So right now, I can say Aziz Rotimi has improved greatly in terms of emotion, academics, morals, and in all aspects of life. He has really improved positively.
Actually, if I did not rescue Rotimi today, or then, the first day I met him, Rotimi will have become a bad child. He will have become an armed robber. He will have become a pickpocketer. He will have become, there is something we call Yahoo Yahoo of this generation. Those that hike in the social media, that they hike on people's number. So we have a lot of atrocities going on that Rotimi will have become one of them if Rotimi has not been rescued.
Our focus in street child care is actually education. Most of them are from broken homes. Most of them are from very, very poor homes where education is not top priority, where the family are trying to eke out a living, trying to see what they will do, trying to find how they will eat, and education doesn't even come close.
Education is not just a privilege for a child, it's a right of every child. So every child deserves the right to be educated. And there is a place for street children to come to and get the second chance of becoming whatever they desire to become.
I want to go to school. That is one of the main reasons why I left home, because of this schooling stuff. And since the late of my father, I've not been able to go to school, so I'm very happy.
We're able to afford sending them to school through various donations that we receive from corporate organizations and individuals. Up to now, Aziz Rotimi Education has been sponsored by others, organizations, and sponsors. But at a point right now, the money using to sponsor him has run out. we are short of cash and people are not coming forth, maybe due to the economic situation of the country right now. But if that should continue, Aziz Rotimi might not be able to continue in his education, and that might truncate his dream of becoming a renowned lawyer like he always says.
There are over 250,000 street children in Lagos, and the problem is massive. And with the present recession, the problem is going to increase. The problem is bigger than Street Child Care and Welfare Initiative. The problem is bigger than the government of Lagos State, if I may say. It's a big problem that is all-encompassing. That means that everybody has to be on ground to make sure that they fix this problem.
It gives me great joy to see the work of Street Child Care and Welfare Initiative and how much they're growing and doing so much for street children. But of course, for Rotimi, he's definitely been improved and impacted. Join our conversation on social media by logging on to airteltouchinglives.com. Coming up after the break, we uncover the challenges facing the Street Childcare and Welfare Initiative. And is the future certain for Rotimi? We'll find out. Welcome back to Airtel Touching Lives. Now, every child earns the right to a meaningful childhood, but for many, they do not have this opportunity. Join me on the show as I welcome my guests, Rotimi, Victor, his mentor, and of course, Comfort Ali. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. I think I'll start with the end. So, Comfort, I'll start with you.
All right.
You're the president of this organization. First of all, congratulations and well done on all the amazing work that you're doing.
Thank you very much.
I guess the first question really is, why do we have so many street children, especially here in Lagos?
Okay, I would say that Lagos is a hub for street children. It's a place where they see that they're going to make great living, or it's like a land of milk and honey, like they say. So that is why there's so many street children in Lagos.
I don't think that anybody plans to come to Lagos to sleep under the bridge or live on the street. So I'm also assuming that when they come, they have relatives here who they think they can stay with. Is that the case? Or they just come and without any idea or any plan at all, and this is the situation they find themselves in?
It will interest you that a lot of these children don't have any relatives in Lagos. They just come to Lagos. They take risk.
Oh.
The type of risk you and I will not take, these children, they take it. They come all the way. They take buses, some get on trucks, some get on moving vehicles, coming with fuel and things like that, just to come down to Lagos. At times when you ask these children, how do you come to Lagos? It's amazing the kind of things that they say. It might take them 5 days to travel from Ibadan down to Lagos, but they just want to come to Lagos. So they don't have relatives. They come to Lagos. Somehow, I marvel at how they do these things. I can't take such risk.
Rotimi, what are some of the things that happen on the streets that a lot of people don't know about?
When we're on the street, we sleep like on the floor, and those kind of things do give us some likely disease that we don't want. Sometimes we sleep beside the gutter, and mosquitoes here and there bite us, and through that we got a lot of disease.
Victor, what drew you to this line of work?
Actually, I read sociology, and in the course of my studying, I was reading a book about childhood, and I looked at that book that childhood should be a period that should be safe, that should be healthy. Also, I was like, so but many children, because I myself was a product of child labor. When I was very young, because of money, I had to go to a factory, and they were like exposing us to a kind of very hard labor. But we are just casual workers. So during that time, I was developing interest in finding solutions to child labor, as in exposing children to hard labor when they are not supposed to be exposed to that kind of work. So when I eventually got admission to university, I studied sociology. So that was my personal story as regards my job.
That's phenomenal. Comfort, something that's both been mentioned here is safety. He's talked about in terms of physical health. And he's talked about just the mental, emotional safety of a child as well. What are some of the things that go on the streets that we don't take cognizance of as Nigerians? You know, we drive past street children every day, but I'm sure there are a lot of underground situations that happen. What are some of the things that you've seen and experienced from your line of work?
Okay. Initially, when I took over Street Childcare and Welfare Initiative, it was always a thing of what really happens on the streets, like you have said. And so, of course, we started going for outreaches. When we go for outreach, we used to go to Kuramo. Before the ocean surge, Kuramo used to have like a settlement of street children, both the ones that have stayed on the street for long, become fathers of street children, and so many. So we used to go down to Kuramo where we have like an organized setting. We bring the children together and then we start talking to them. In the midst of all of this, you see these children smoking marijuana. And these children, they actually swim in the Atlantic Ocean. Some boy that we were planning to bring to the center just got drowned. So they are exposed to death, just as they are exposed to drugs, they are exposed to homosexualism. I have to say this. I don't know if this is proper, but it is the truth. Initially, when I took over the center, I had to go for counseling myself. My mentor was Mrs. Shikwade, Marion Shikwade. She runs Child Lifeline before her death. I had to go to her to say, Marion, this is what I'm facing. And she said, comfort, brace up. You're going to see more. This is just the beginning.
We walk past street children every day, but it's incredible the amount of work that goes into rehabilitating them and giving them the chance of a future. You can join the conversation by logging on to airteltouchinglives.com. After the break, what does the future hold for Rotimi Aziz without immediate intervention and help? Welcome back to Airtel Touching Lives. Rotimi Aziz is someone who has proven that regardless of his situation coming from the streets, he can make something of his life. Rotimi is still here with us, along with Victor, his mentor, and of course, Comfort Ali. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
So currently, what is his academic situation like and who pays for his schooling?
Okay, at the moment, his school is being paid for by a group of women called the British Women Group, though that hasn't been consistent for a while. They stopped paying like sometime last year, so we had to look for another sponsor for him. So at the moment, we are looking for new sponsors. Just like Rotimi, we also have other children in his shoes. We've not had a lot of sponsorship this year. You and I, we understand the situation of the country, so it has caused a whole lot of dwindle of resources. So we don't really have a lot of resources to sustain school fees, especially because we still think about feeding the children. So at the moment, we are still hopeful and we are looking out for other sponsors to come and be part of this.
Rotimi, if you don't get the kind of support that you're looking for, what do you think could happen to you? Do you see yourself going back to the streets?
Actually, if I don't get the support that I'm looking for, I find out that I will see myself back on the street because my aim was to earn money and go to school. So if I don't see any support, go back to zero level, looking for money again.
And Victor, what are the kinds of things that can happen if he doesn't get the kind of support that he needs and requires?
Just like what he rightly said, he might end up not becoming the renowned lawyer, and that might be a great loss for our agency, for how far we've tried, and even for the states, for the state government, and even for Nigeria, because that's how we lost so many brain due to poverty or so many other factors. We see them on the streets. So if Rotimi eventually did not get the sponsors, that means Nigeria has lost one of the best brain. That means our agency, all the effort so far has been fugitive, and that means he might end up being a criminal, which would be another expenses for the government in case he's being sentenced to jail or he's being killed. So I pray that will not happen anyway.
Which is something we will never let happen.
Exactly.
And because we'll never let that happen, and we want him to be this renowned lawyer that he's going to be,
Exactly.
Airtel Touching Lives would like to touch his life, as we like to say on the show,
Thank you.
by offering Aziz Rotimi a full tuition scholarship to university to the tune of 1 million naira.
Wow. Interesting.
How do you feel?
I feel very good.
I love the smile on all your faces.
No, I'm very happy about that because we haven't seen any one sponsor that wants to sponsor one child to a tone of 1 million naira.
Yeah.
I have to say that. We've had people that will say, okay, take 200, take 300. At a point, the money goes out and then we can't continue sponsorship. And then we make those children understand that, look, our hands are tied, that we can't continue sponsoring you. But with this, it gives us that joy and ease to think that, oh, this child is going through this, and to the tone of this amount of money has been given, he will, go further. We really, really do appreciate this, and it's a big relief for us.
So, Rotimi, I personally am expecting that when you're called to bar, you will be our legal counsel and legal representation.
Definitely. And we hope that he will also give back, just like every other one of us trying to give back.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I felt good and happy because I don't think I'm just happy that I'm sitting here today and receiving a scholarship of 1 million naira. I don't think anybody in my family has ever received that. So I'm happy today and it's a good day.
Well, thank you for being here with us, and thank you for staying hopeful as well, and really, really appreciate the amount of work that you're doing. And I know that Nigerians watching are definitely going to support you to continue to help more and more and more children out there as well. You are definitely an inspiration to every single one of us watching.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much for having us as well.
Truly inspiring show today with our guests and of course Aziz Rotimi. It's been amazing just seeing how little can become so much. Till next time, see you and God bless. Remi Abera is no ordinary woman. She's an angel to the millions of people who have been displaced and are living in substandard camps throughout Nigeria.
There's such a gap between some children who just probably have most of what they want and some children who have nothing. It's a terrible feeling, and it shouldn't happen.
Last year, she did the near impossible. We catch up with Remi to find out how her summit attempt went. And you never know when tragedy could strike.
We were 4 in the car. I think he must have got scared or something. And that's all I could remember.
1 million naira is a dream come true, and that is why I want to become a renowned lawyer. This is the first day in my life of receiving a scholarship.
I wanna touch your life. I wanna be the change. I'm gonna shine my light.